The Gallardo Lamborghinis are just too quick in a straight line. So it is a balance of performance category, and the BOP has been updated, and the Merc not as quick as it was, but I've no doubt you can see there's one on the second row. You get to a track like Phillip Island where it's more flowing, more aerodynamic, and the Merc will be one of the cars to beat. And that's the part of the excitement and attraction around GT racing. Each car has its strengths.
Yep, that is balance of performance, or parity as we would call it in supercars. They always try and make sure that the field is equal. This looks like a really nice grid formation coming around the corner here, set up 2 by 2 all the way back to position 23. The last race of the weekend for the Australian GT Championship, ready to go on the green flag, racing on the streets of Adelaide. Major trying to get that jump on the sister Lamborghini to the left.
Largo gets through, doesn't he?
Oh, look at these Lamborghinis getting up on the curbs, and this is getting a bit racy. Do we get through turn 3? Looks to be the case.
So Peter Major there, just a lot of curb, and it did not like it at all. In fact, when he landed, it really spat the car sideways as he picked the throttle up. So I'm not sure if he just clipped a limiter on the upshift, because he looked like he got the jump on Largo, and then Largo came back at him. So maybe just got a little bit greedy on a gear shift and just doesn't take much to touch the rev limiter and just really hurts the momentum.
We're on board the Walkinshaw Porsche with Mega Fuel sponsorship. Liam Talbot at the wheel. Fraser Ross just ahead of him in the total Techno Autosport McLaren. We go through turn 8. Pirelli still not quite up to temperature, and that is 0 from 3 for the 100. That BMW's had a weekend to forget.
Certainly has. So that'd be James Bergmuller. Showing Steve Richards, actually. So
should be Richard on the car right now.
Starting, of course, because Bergmuller started yesterday. So you alternate the co-drivers if you do have 2 drivers in the race. Of course, Largo, Bates and Major at the front, all sole drivers this weekend, not sharing their car. A lot more track time for them. Fraser Ross in the McLaren 650S. This car off the back of a top 5 in the 12-hour. And he's really quick through turns 1, 2. A little bit nicer over the curbs, the McLaren, compared to the Lamborghini. Major drives down the middle of the road. Someone's had a big lock-up in front.
It was Bates
that managed to get through. Caution, though. There's yellows here. This is BMW.
That's an awkward spot to sit, unfortunately. That car has been very unhappy off the trailer. Now, more news. Peter Major reporting a clutch issue in that Zagami Preps car. So hopefully, Cameron, it's not going to slow him down. We did see him struggle to get going on the formation lap.
Yeah, well, you don't use the clutch once you get mobile in these cars. So the Gallardo has a foot clutch. A lot of the newer cars have a hand clutch.
What about in the pits for the pit stop?
That could be an issue.
Big one.
Turn 8. It looks like the
Miles involved.
Yeah, and the Huracan was the car that left over the back. He's going completely down the road backwards there, Dean Canto. Canto had nowhere to go in that Lamborghini Huracan and drove straight over the side of the car for Lamborghini. Tim Miles, I think, at the wheel. Yes, it is. So this will bring out our first safety car.
Oh, my goodness.
And that's not going to be good. That could be a red flag there. That is going to take a long time to repair that wall. And if you think about it, let's hope that, Dean's getting out. Left-hand drive car. Imagine the damage to the car that has done that much damage to the wall.
Nasty hit.
Both drivers appear to be okay. Tim Miles is getting out. One thing you have to be careful in these cars is when you follow closely into turn 8, you get what is called aero wash. So the aero disturbs the aero of the car behind, and it can give you a lot of understeer. So I just wonder if Tim Miles has just got too close.
That's great to see.
Dean's out of the car.
Walking away from a very nasty accident through the turn 8.
Looks a bit ginger, though. Let's have a look at what happened here.
He's had a big crash on turn 8 before, Dean Canto, in supercars. Let's see what's happened here. Miles goes straight ahead, into that wall hard. Canto nowhere to go. And then he went in really hard with the right side as well.
Look at the Audi. Look at everyone just trying to avoid all the shrapnel and debris going everywhere. So let's have a look here. I think he just went in on his own, to be honest. Yeah, just went in a bit hot there. Goes the Huracan over the front. the biggest bit of damage there, I think, was the impact of over the other car. So it's ripped the left corner out of the Huracan. Here we go.
Oh, he got the inside fence.
He did too. He clipped the inside curb. Dean just wasn't able to bring it back in time. So hard to make a change when you're doing 215 kilometres an hour. Oh, the Audi did get caught in that. Actually, a very good save.
That was Vanderlinde in the Audi trying to sneak through. Safety car instantly deployed.
Canto couldn't do much. Have a look here on the exit in real speed. Once that car's gone in front of him, he's already committed to the throttle. Look, you can see he's tried to restrict, you know, the exit, but just no warning, not enough time. So there was contact. I'd be surprised if there's not a puncher in the 74 Audi out of that or some sort of damage.
Watch the McDonald's signage on the wall move. Now, it does help to dissipate some energy in doing so, which is good news.
Dean's already got off the throttle. He's trying to squeeze through.
Red flag here, Cameron.
Yeah, this one's going to be called, unfortunately.
How about the effort from a few drivers coming through here, including Twig and Tunis and Vanderlinde, who all arrived on the scene and managed to somehow find their way through this. Look at Twig to the left-hand side of the Mercedes, running over pieces already. Canto taking a wild ride off the back of Tim Miles, going hard into the fence.
These cars race in 3 weeks at the Grand Prix for the next round of the Sprint Championship. So here's real speed again.
You can actually hear the impact on the inside wall.
You can.
And showing the speed that these cars still carry. Canto slipping with Tim Miles for a further 300 metres at least after that accident.
So he's just clipped that inside curb a little bit too aggressively. Might have even grazed the Armco on the inside, but I'm not sure. Just a lot of curb, and it just sent the car straight ahead.
Like an open wheel accident when those two cars touch each other. The wheels locking up, sending him up into the sky. Remember, both drivers walking away from this one. Incredible safety measures in these cars.
Gee, it was a good job by Vanderlinde to slide through between those two. It was only slight contact with the Audi. Here we go. Watch the car just dead straight. So Canto tries to get out of it. Can't make it through. And unfortunately, it's ripped the rear end out of that Huracan. I'd be surprised if there's not transmission and gearbox damage as well. Mid-engine car, both of them. The Huracan, a brand new car. Jim Manola's car owner brought that into the country late last year, and this one's been declared, unfortunately.
So there's no. So you don't think there's a chance of getting a restart in this race?
Well, we've got 30 minutes to go, so gee, you'd have to think there's 15 minutes, 20 minutes repairing that wall. So we'll keep an eye on race control. So and Laurie Schmidt.
74 does have a puncture, by the way, Cameron, so you picked up on that one nicely from watching him trying to get through.
I think he's very lucky just to get away with that, to be honest, sliding through a gap that was closing rapidly. So under red flag, no work can be carried out on these cars. They can go out, plug cool vests in, fill up driver bottles.
Well, the Audi team clearly look like they want to change that tyre. That's why they're taking the bottle out. Ken
Collier, the category manager there, yelling out some instructions of what can and can't be done under the regulations.
So the right front tyre there looks to be deflated for me on that Valvoline car. Wow, look, it actually peeled the outside of the door off as well.
Yeah, I saw the door swing open. So there's a fair bit of contact. And the clock has actually stopped. So to me, that means this race has been declared. The fact that it's not counting down.
We don't have a red flag being shown anymore either.
Strange, but we'll wait to hear. Laurie Schmidt, certainly the most, next to Tim Schenken, the most experienced guy in race control.
There he is, just to the left-hand side, nodding along, having a chat to Rod Wilson, who's just got one ear pulled out to have the chat on the right-hand side. Rod working quite closely with GT Asia, as well as his time racing numerous categories, including the V8 Utes. Repairs to that wall are coming along nicely already. So there's a fair bit going on down there at the moment. Cameron, can you bring any news to us as to what's happening with the Audi?
I jumped in with Ewan Cole, who's one of the technical guys here for the GTs. You can work on the cars, but only 2 people are allowed to work on the car at times. 74 did have a puncture. They've been able to change the tyre on this one as well. That Ewan Cole also said they are attempting to get this one back underway. It's all going to come down to, as Cameron McConville said before, that wall repair, but they're attempting to get this one back underway.
Now, I wonder what this will mean if they do go back to racing then for our compulsory pit stop time. Now, the race in Perth had a red flag similar to this early on. I think from memory, they did the driver changes during the red flag, let the other drivers go out, and then added the times on at the end of the race. From memory.
Yeah, from memory, I think you're correct. And I don't have the GT regulations in front of me, Chad, but that sounds about right. They're obviously going to have to split it into the remaining race time and try and proportion that accordingly for across the driver combinations, but it can be confusing. This is just another replay of a $650,000 Lamborghini going backwards into the concrete. I don't think this one that car is not pretty, but I think the Canto Manolis car will be repairable for the Grand Prix. Jim carries a lot of spares for these cars.
These barriers, 4.5 tons they weigh, and he just pushed that over like it was a picket fence. Watch that in the background. Moving 4.5 tons, 1 or 2 meters to the right with that impact.
Yeah, that's
particularly that Miles car is going to be almost a write-off, so to speak. So these cars do get insured, so you can have write-offs in GT racing.
Yeah, well, usually they are insured.
You don't want to know what those premiums are, by the way.
No, and they're not for the total car value. They're generally for a shell replacement cost. So generally up to about $150,000 of insurance. A lot of fans actually ask that. Who pays for the damage? Well, you can actually insure race cars, particularly Carrera Cup cars, GT cars of high value.
I heard the premiums went up after the Grand Prix last year because there were quite a few big accidents that weekend alone, and the cost of insuring these cars obviously quite expensive.
Well, you're looking...
Let's just listen into this accident once more, particularly the first impact. Definitely hear that first swipe of the wall. Look how brave flag marshals in there as well, reaching through and getting those yellow flags. So we'll try and sort out what's happening down there at Turn 8. We'll catch some more news with Brianna, who's down in the pits.
Yeah, thanks, Chad. I just wanted to take this opportunity to catch up with Taz